Okay, so now it's time to talk about tests. Tests in this class come in two different formats, proctored and unproctored. Unproctored is the first test you're going to run into, and I'm in the teacher view here. You can't see this yet. You'll see it's in the syllabus. You can see it in the calendar, but you'll see here test one is a non-proctored test. So how this works is it's just like a homework assignment essentially, and I try to prep you for this. So there's some reading, there's a sample test for you to do, but then your actual test occurs. And in your test, you'll notice that you have a time limit on it. And it's to be treated like a normal test, like you would if you were taking with me in class. Pencil, paper, no notes, no books, just pencil, paper, calculator, and the problems that come up on the screen. Now, just like in class though, you wouldn't just be getting marked right or wrong. You would be able to submit your work and show me your work. So that's what you're going to do on here as well. Now, the difference between a test and doing a homework problem is you're not going to get immediately marked right or wrong. Just you're going to do the problems, you're going to submit your answers, and then once you have submitted your answer, this is where OneNote comes into play. You're going to take pictures of all of your work. You're going to go ahead and open up the OneNote link up here, and you are going to go into your own personal folder once it's available. There we go. Go into your own personal folder. And in here, when it comes time for test one, you'll notice I will have created when you go into your tests, there'll be a page in your notebook called, it will be titled probably test 1 chapter whatever 2.1 through 2.5, something like that. So in here you'll just now go ahead and click and insert your pictures for all of your work that you did for the test, and that is where your grade will come from. MathAS is not going to mark you right or wrong, and there are some problems that are free response, and so those problems just get marked. If you look at your score right away, they're going to look like you got zeros on them because I have to go through and grade them by hand. So don't let that scare you. I still have to go through and grade, so don't look at that initial grade and think you did great or you did terrible. I have to look at your work. So non-proctored tests, that's the process. Do the test in MathAS, do your work on scratch paper very neatly because you're going to take pictures of all of them and upload them to me in OneNote. And you have to have those pictures uploaded within 30 minutes. So you can't take a very long time to finish the test to get them uploaded. Okay, now proctored tests, you are going to have two options. You're either going to go into the Paradise Valley Community College testing center, and the hours for summer may be slightly different. So let me show you where to check. We're at the main Paradise Valley Community College webpage. We're going to go to academics. Click on academics, and now we're going to search for math. Here we go, mathematics here on the right hand side. Now that we're in here, the testing center that we use in math is the Q Building Tutoring / Testing Center. There is another testing center for the college, but that's not for mathematics, that's for the other disciplines. So you're going to click on this one here, and you can see this is what it looks like. So if you're going to come do your proctored test with us on campus, this is the room you're looking for, and when you walk in, it's pretty easy to find, or just ask anybody who's around. They'll point you right here. Or if you need, I can pull up a map as we get closer. I will send out a map with a picture and just kind of show you where to go. But here you go. Here's your summer hours, and if you need to call them, here's their phone number. 602-787-7740, and their hours, Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. That is the testing hours, and notice that they also have tutoring, so if you need help you can go to them as well. Same hours, and there you go. So that's if you're going to take the test on our campus in person, that's where you're going to do it. That's your midterm and your final exam. Those two tests are free to take at our tutoring center. But for some of you, I know the reason you're taking online is because you can't come to a campus. So therefore, we also offer another service called ProctorU, and there's a link for this in the syllabus, and I will also send out a link as we get closer to our first midterm. But here, what you're going to do is just click sign up. And from what I've been told from students who have done it is literally I point them right here, and the rest of this is very self-explanatory. Apparently I've never had a student come back and say, wow, that was hard. They always come back and say, wow, it's easier than I thought it would be. Now, ProctorU, there is a fee associated to using them, and that is a fee that you have to pay. It's typically about $25, but they can change their prices. And I know the earlier you sign up and pick your time, the less expensive it is. So if you sign up in the day before or the day of, it's going to be much more expensive. So that's your option if you can't come to our tutoring center or our testing center on the midterm and final days that are described in the syllabus. And I always try to give you a couple day window, but it's not a whole week. So there you go. Now to use ProctorU, you have to have a webcam, you have to have high-speed internet. Kind of watch their little video, and they'll kind of walk you through it and tell you everything you need. And you can pre-check your computer to make sure it's fast enough and your internet's fast enough and all that. The key thing I will say is all they do is watch you. All they're doing, and they're actually kind of funny, and they tell jokes and whatever. It's not creepy, but their job is not to submit your test. Their job is not to provide your test. All they do is they have the password to get into the test, and they are there for then making sure you're not cheating. That's their job. Okay, so do not expect them to submit anything, turn any work into me. That's your job. Okay, so it's very important, I find, for me to explain to you what ProctorU's job is, because then it clears up some things later. So their job is just to so you can say, even though I was taking this test at home, I did it in an environment where nobody was helping me. I did use the resources that were supposed to be available, etc., etc. Your job is to make sure the work is submitted to me. You take pictures of your work, you upload them to OneNote, and you get everything to me in a very timely manner. Okay, if there's any other questions as we go forward, please ask, but that's the basics to testing.